Good morning. Welcome to the forecast discussion for February 28th, 2012. It is currently 9 a.m. and we have an interesting storm that will be approaching the northern mid-Atlantic by tomorrow afternoon that could produce some significant ice totals for the interior. One thing I want to make very clear with the air mass in place is that this is not a very cold air mass in any way, shape, or form. In fact, really, temperatures are pretty much where they should be for afternoon highs, and again, it's only 9 a.m. One of the important observations, though, is notice the dew points. They're pretty low. They're in the teens to lower 20s, and that means we have a dry air mass in place. So, although it is not significantly cold, it is very dry. And that's very important because when you start to get precipitation moving into a dry air mass, you end up with temperatures falling rapidly, and they will fall rapidly below freezing in some locations. But for today, what we can expect is clear skies as high pressure will be in control and temperatures will rebound into the lower to mid 40s over the interior and mid to upper 40s along the coast. So overall, a rather pleasant day for one of the last days of February. Of course, tomorrow is Leap Day, one of the few years where February ends on the 29th. So, it won't be that bad of a day for February, for the last few days of February, but clearly it's an air mass that's setting up for a potential ice threat here moving forward. Taking a look at the latest infrared satellite picture, you can see high pressure is currently setting up over the eastern Great Lakes, and that high pressure system will be in control throughout today, producing clear skies for the entire region. This high pressure system will shift to the east towards Maine as an area low pressure over the Rockies begins to develop and track towards the east-northeast, towards the Great Lakes, and eventually towards New England by tomorrow night. This low pressure system is going to be the low pressure system that will produce the threat for snow, sleet, and rain for the entire Philadelphia and New York City metropolitan area. So let's take a look at the model guidance, and I'll show you exactly what I'm concerned about here. Here we are. We're going to jump right to Wednesday afternoon, and you can see here we have a marginally cold air mass in place. Temperatures along the coast are clearly above freezing, but I want you to keep an eye on northwestern New Jersey, northeastern Pennsylvania, the Hudson River Valley, and northern Connecticut. Temperatures in these locations are below freezing, and more importantly, look at the dry air in place. This is very dry air, and initially that's going to delay the start of the precipitation, but that's also going to allow temperatures to fall to or below freezing and keep temperatures to or below freezing for an extended period of time with this precipitation on the way. Another key observation here is the surface winds. The surface winds along the coast are from the east and southeast. Anyone that's forecasting snowfall with an east or southeasterly wind should get their head checked. There is no way you're going to get a snowfall event for the coastal plain with this type of wind direction because the winds are coming off of the Atlantic, and the Atlantic happens to be above 40 degrees for water temperatures. Not exactly ideal for snowfall potential. So we have a marginal cold air mass in place. We have easterly winds, so that clearly is going to point to a rain event for much of the New York City metropolitan area, Long Island, most of New Jersey, and of course southeastern Pennsylvania, including the Philadelphia metropolitan area. This is just a rain threat for these locations. But what I am concerned about is the interior, especially northeastern Pennsylvania, northwestern New Jersey, and the Hudson River Valley. Watch out for northern Connecticut as well. The reason why is because with this dry air in place, the cold air is going to have a hard time exiting. So initially, we'll start off as snow in these northern interior locations. You could even see a little bit of snow mixed in with the rain over the New York City metropolitan area, but no accumulation is expected as temperatures at the surface will be in the upper 30s. As you move north and west of the cities, that cold air is not going to exit very quickly, so as a result, you end up with this wave of precipitation associated with warm air invading the region. And as the temperatures at the mid-levels warm above freezing, at the surface we stay below freezing. So that's going to lead to a significant ice threat, and we can see that here on the NAM model guidance developing for northwestern New Jersey, northeastern Pennsylvania, and eventually for the Hudson River Valley and northern Connecticut. So that, I think, is going to be the major problem here moving forward with this storm, is that once that snow changes over to rain, it's going to be a freezing rain, and that's going to lead to a pileup of ice. Now, the other problem here is that once this precipitation moves through, and it's going to move through very, very quickly. In fact, I expect most of this precipitation to be done by Thursday morning, but the damage is already done with ice accumulations throughout the entire northern interior. That's going to have a serious impact on travel conditions. The good news is that with this warm air invading, by the afternoon hours, temperatures rapidly warm up above freezing into the 40s and 50s, and that's going to allow a lot of this ice to melt away. But before we get to that point, we're going to have to deal with a rather impressive ice storm. Looking at the rest of the forecast on the European model guidance from the Penn State EWOL, of course. Once this storm moves through, we get a few more disturbances moving through. Friday should be dry with variable cloud cover and temperatures above normal in the mid-40s to lower 50s. Saturday, a cold front moves through. Could be an isolated thunderstorm here and there, but for the most part, we're dealing with rain on Saturday, scattered showers, and a few isolated thunderstorms again. Temperatures in the upper 40s to mid-50s. And then for Sunday and Monday, high pressure will be in control with seasonable temperatures ranging from the mid-40s to lower 50s and lows in the upper 20s to lower 30s. No major storms are expected once the storm moves through on Wednesday. Now on to the snowfall forecast. Again, for much of the New York City metropolitan area, including all of Long Island, most of New Jersey, and all of the Philadelphia metro, including southeastern Pennsylvania, I'm just expecting rain. Could be a few flakes of snow to start at the very start of the storm, but no accumulation whatsoever. A little bit further to the north and west, like Allentown, Bethlehem, portions of Wayne, New Jersey, right around the southern Hudson River Valley, right around White Plains, Bridgeport, Connecticut, right along the northern portion of I-95. Looking at anywhere from a 1 to 2 inches of snow, and then change over to a brief period of freezing rain. 0.05 of an inch of ice is expected. It's going to lead to some slick roadways on Wednesday night, and then we'll see a change over to rain. A little bit further north, like in Wilkes-Barre and Scranton, much of Sussex County in New Jersey, the south central Hudson River Valley to the south of Poughkeepsie, and central Connecticut, I'm looking for 2 to 4 inches of snow possible with ice accumulations up to 1/10 of an inch. Again, slick and dangerous roads Wednesday night into Thursday. Further north into northeastern Pennsylvania to the north of New Jersey. We're talking about Poughkeepsie for the most part, New York, and around Hartford, Connecticut on north. Looking for 4 to 8 inches of snow. Most of the snow, I think, is going to be on the lower end of this, and I'm really concerned about ice accumulations up to 1/4 of an inch. Could exceed that the faster that the snow changes over to freezing rain. There is some indication of possibly up to 1/2 inch of ice in some locations if this snow changes over to rain and sleet much faster. And then in far northern forecast locations, specifically around northwestern Connecticut and between Poughkeepsie and Albany, anywhere from 6 to 12 inches of snow. Again, look more towards the lower portion of this forecast scale as far as snowfall. The faster the snow changes over to ice, the more ice you could have, and up to about 1/4 of an inch of ice. Again, a few isolated locations up to 1/2 inch of ice. This is a major significant ice threat for locations over the Hudson River Valley and northern Connecticut, and should be used and should be taken seriously for this storm. So that's pretty much the entire forecast for this storm. I will have live coverage of this event tomorrow evening, just to keep an eye on exactly how fast this transition takes place. And also there's a chance that the warm air could be a little bit more aggressive than what I'm currently forecasting, and this changeover happens much faster. So we're going to keep an eye on that. This is a dangerous event for the northern interior though, so if you have any friends and family in Connecticut, northwestern New Jersey, northeastern Pennsylvania, and of course the Hudson River Valley, Please take some precautions and just be prepared for a potential power outage at the very least, and try to stay off the roads. I'm your meteorologist, Stephen DiMartino. I'll have the latest weather information on this storm at nynjpaweather.com and nynjpaweather on Twitter and Facebook. Have a great day. Stay safe out there.